I just had got off guard duty at night, and so I went to bed in my cot in my little makeshift tent. My buddy was next to me in his cot, and we were both sleeping. It was in the early morning, and there was an explosion right next to my tent. I noticed that there was a big hole over my mosquito net, right where my head was. And I felt a sharp pain in my left leg where I had gotten some shrapnel. The only thing they did to me was give me a brand new uniform and sent me on my way. And that was it. That was my last connection with the military.
So we are here because I'm kind of at my wit's end with dealing with the VA. And when we realized that Dad would have an opportunity to get some compensation, financial compensation. Of course, we wanted to do whatever we could to make that happen because, you know, he's missed out on decades and decades of compensation. This has become like a part-time job for me, working alongside my father, trying to get whatever they need and to get the process going. It's not what they promised. It's just been a lot of phone calls, a lot of misinformation, a lot of over-promise, under-deliver. And when we heard about VetComm and what the services are here, I was finally ready to just, pass the reins over to somebody that really has a heart for veterans and really, knows the loopholes and maybe the shortcuts that I wouldn't know about had I not been introduced to VetComm.
Yeah, it does frustrate me. I'm just seeing now the open borders and all these people are coming into our country, and I still see stories of veterans living on the street and they can't support themselves, and I think that's wrong. I think we need to pay more attention to our own people here in this country.
The financial compensation that he could have been receiving up until this point, that he was unaware of up until now, would have allowed him to stay in California. He couldn't continue to live in California on his pension. It just got too expensive for him, and so he had to move out to New Mexico, which is 13 hours away from his kids and his family, and so we're anxious to get this process going so we can get him back in California, close to his family.
Now I'm in the process of talking my wife into moving back, and I think it's a good possibility that we will. And this will help us tremendously if this compensation comes back to us, and that would really be a godsend.
If we were in court or something, and are we going to represent ourselves because it's free, or are we going to hire a subject matter expert, an attorney to represent us? That's kind of how I feel. We are so clueless about this whole process, and we've tried on our own to figure it out. It's just led to a lot of wasted hours, a lot of wasted time, a lot of frustration, a lot of time that we could have had together, just enjoying each other's company, but we've been driving to different offices, we've been talking to different departments. So for me to be introduced to a company that are subject matter experts, they know the loopholes, they understand the process. It's a no-brainer for us to do that, to allow us to kind of rest easy and let you guys take the reins. It's like enough of the blind leading the blind, and now it's like, okay, we can kind of see the light at the end of the tunnel, and so we're just looking forward to working alongside of you guys. For anyone out there who can relate to kind of what we have been dealing with, I would highly recommend to look into a company like VetComm to help you walk through the process. It is very tedious, it is very time consuming, it can be very frustrating, and it's really nice to have a company, especially who has just such a heart for veterans, but just really knows the ins and outs of the process. So, hands down, I would recommend working with VetComm.